Good morning, pregame crew. Sound check, sound check. Make sure everything's okay, and then we will get started. Hey, P-Court, Jorge, Jacoby, Mustang, V. Galero, Benjamin, Dragon Man, Jason. I never say hi to Jason. Good morning. Hey, Graham. Good night, good evening. Buenas noches. All good on the sound? Awesome. We will get started in 3 minutes. Awesome, Dimitri. So if you're interested in my chart setup, we have it on the screen now. This is my particular chart setup, and this is just me honing it in, adding stuff, getting rid of it, adding stuff, getting rid of it. It's kind of like editing my living room furniture and decor, constantly figuring out exactly what that magical combination is that I like and aesthetically pleasing to me, and what speaks to me, and how much data can I then slice to then arrive at a good trading conclusion. It is different for everyone. Go Tigers, Frank. Hey, y'all. MYM, Roger. So if you're interested in my chart setup and the particular indicators on TradingView, it's on the screen now. Please take a screenshot, and then I will be deleting it. Notice right now on ES, we have a TTM squeeze. I can tell you this is my particular edge. I could go to every trader, and we know our traders that have been in TCG for a while who, particularly like Sarah, she's great at the strat and the broadening wedge formation. Denzi's really good at rising wedge and falling wedge. There's just different people have their different strengths. Some people are good at Elliott waves. Some people are really great at Fibonacci. Some people are good at pitchforks. Whatever your edge is, my edge is the squeeze. I like the squeeze because I need to know when pressure is building. So that's my particular edge. Hey, Tara, my indicators are on the screen. I use the yellow simple 50 moving average. The purple is the 200 simple moving average. The green is the 8 exponential moving average. Red is the 21 EMA, and yellow JCE inside bars. RSI multi-time frame, which you can plot multiple time frames of RSI. The green just means oversold, red overbought. TTM squeeze, thinkorswim default just tells me when pressure is building. So real quick on the 50 and 200 moving averages, I say often, almost every day, that's where the algos respond. Remember, these are slower moving averages. If I'm making an options decision using the moving averages, I'm going to use the 8 or the 21 EMA. So the 8 and 21 EMA, all that means is, let's go over the 8 right here. So I'm not going to draw it all out. It would take too long. But let's say these are candle bars. So we're looking at 8 candle bars. Gosh, this will take too long. So what this 8 EMA moving average does is it plots the last 8 candles, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's going to weight more heavily the more recent price data. And it says, here's the average of the last 8 price plots. Candles are price plots, what the average was of the last 8 candles, and it more heavily weights more recent action. So the 8 EMA is going to provide the most recent price average out of all of my moving averages, and it's more responsive to more recent data. So I need it for quicker decisions on what's happening right now. 21 uses the last 21 time periods of whatever time frame I'm on. The 2 minute, the 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, it aggregates that data and weights more heavily the more recent price data. So the EMAs I'm going to use for day trading more often. The 50 and 200 are very critical for me for swing trading. They are slower signals, but it gives a larger picture as to what's going on with the chart as to its overall health on longer term time frames. So that's why I use what I use. So, and also one thing I don't say enough is moving averages stacked. So right now with the 15 minute, we have all moving averages stacked positively, which means they're stacked on top of one another, and they're pointing up. That's SOTIMA, slope of the EMA. When things are pointed up, it's more bullish. If everything I just said the last 3 minutes sounds foreign, I have another chart for you. I promise you, you can trade with this chart by itself. All you need is price action to trade. And each person's different. We have an amount of data that we can analyze in our head with a quick flow chart, yes, no, or a quick algorithm in our head, whether to go long or short. And some people, it's too difficult. And not because you're not smart enough, just because you don't have the experience yet. It's kind of like tying your shoe. So I contend that all you need is price action to trade. On Apple, didn't we discuss it yesterday? Go up into the price resistance, short it. You come down to price support, go long. It literally can be that easy. It doesn't have to overcomplicate things. Do I need to know relative strength? If Apple pulls back this hard, do I need the RSI to tell me that it's not relatively strong? Let's say it's 40 or whatever it is right here. Do I need to know that it is weak? No. Price action tells me it's been pulling back for days. It's weak. And here we have just sideways action. Here, do I need RSI to tell me that price is overbought and that this is a relatively strong chart? No. So just remember to keep it simple in your head and don't overcomplicate it. All right, I'm Chart Gal Lori. Hi. I'm waving at all y'all. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. I'm a chart gal. We teach technical analysis. We help you use the left side of your screen, prior price data, to determine what is the most likely scenario over here in the blank space, in the black space. Over here, it doesn't mean we're always right. We're providing an extra edge. I would rather have an extra edge, and the better I can hone my skill set and edges, I can go from 60% to 70% to 80% accuracy and win rate over here in the black area. No one knows what's going to happen next. The next candle provides us more data. The next volume bar provides us more data. But that is what the goal of technical analysis is to provide an extra edge over here in the black space. So that's what we do at TCG. Our format every morning for the pregame show is we go over the Fab Four futures, commodities, cryptos, movers and shakers, or technical setups, and I end with SPY and give you those levels. If you are interested in your individual ticker, the Chart Guys community, we have live shows 3 times a day in addition to this one. That the 3 live shows are for community members only, and we take your requests. So we go for however long it takes to go over the request. So this morning I'm giving you what I see based on news and technical setups that have the higher probability of working out. You may see something different, and that's fine. But if you ask a question in chat and I don't get to it, it's not because I don't care or don't love you. It's that I ran out of time. Okay, so with ES, we have a 15-minute EQ. You have resistance at 4203.50, 420425, support 419650, 419575. That's on the 15-minute. So on the 4-hour, we have a higher high, higher low, and right now we have an inside bar forming. It's not set yet till we have the candle close within this price range with resistance at 4204, support 4194. If we just kind of zoom out, have the bears proven anything? What do the bears have to do to bring price down? They got to show up with all their friends. So this is a gang fight. And for bears, for the Crips and Bloods, okay? The Bulls are the Crips, the Bears are the Bloods. So if we're going to have a gang fight, the Bloods have to bring ever-loving every single one of their members in order to win the fight and win against the Crips. The Crips, they just got to bring big boy and little small, whatever, just a couple people, and they can win the fight. So for the Bloods to win, the Bears to win, they've got to show up with more volume than this. So right now, odds favor the Bulls. The Bulls for Chicago fans. Or no, it's the Bears. So basically our range yesterday on the daily for ES, resistance 42.12, support 41.79. This ain't gonna cut it. They gotta bring this type of volume. So volume will give our first clues if the bears are stepping in and taking control. Remember that we have data tomorrow, GDP I believe, and then some type of price, a consumer price index or something on Friday. Please verify on your own, but just know that they could be caution days. That data is interpreted negatively in pre-market. NASDAQ is set up nicely. We have a 30-minute TTM squeeze where things are getting tighter. You have resistance at 13728, 13732. You have support at 13683 and 13672. So on the 15-minute, we got a little bit of a higher high. So let's do our analysis. RTY was very weak yesterday, and it's really flatlining, even though it has the larger percentage of bounce. Look at it compared to NASDAQ. NASDAQ is stronger. YM is definitely the weakest. So it goes NASDAQ, ES, RTY, and YM. So the percentages are sometimes are deceiving or misleading as to what is leading. Definitely NASDAQ so far this morning. Gold, my word. That was just amazing, huh, y'all? 4-hour squeeze. We've been talking about it. Beautiful chart and bull break. Why did gold bounce? Gold bounced because bonds, 10-year note, found a bottom. Look what else is bouncing. They found a bottom. They are bouncing. So bonds are looking great. Gold looks absolutely amazing, and I hope y'all took some of those bull trades with me that I called out. You have resistance at, so remember we have this one over here, prior resistance 1912. We're right at that level, 1962. So the next area where we have congestion after 1912 is 1936. Oil. So oil, my recommendation yesterday was a short. This is where my scribble was here, because we have this broadening formation where we have bull exhaustion at the top, bear exhaustion at the bottom. So we're getting a little wobble here. 65.41 is your support. We have inventory this morning. So if inventory were to go bad, we could see a pullback, and we didn't establish support on the way up. So just remember that. With oil, 63.95 prior resistance could be support if we break through 65.41. So that's on the 4-hour. Let me just kind of not to get too messy with it. So on the 15-minute, this is the pullback we've been waiting for. 66.51, perfect short area. We rejected right at that area, and now we're pulling back. Would love to get a bounce, a lower high bounce, and you could get another opportunity to potentially short on a bounce before inventory. But inventory is a binary event. We don't know what it's going to say or how the market's going to interpret it. I never look at those reports because I don't care. I just look at the price action and say, bounce. Give me a little V-shaped lower high and let me short it. Bitcoin. We had the best night ever with Link and Matic. So Mark Cuban came out last night saying that he bought Matic, and it was just a beautiful night. You have resistance at 40484, 40900. You have support at 39435 and 39054. Let me zoom out. So 4-hour, this could be a bull flag on Bitcoin. Everything looks very healthy. Same thing with Ethereum, potential 4-hour. Bull flag. 15-minute, let me give you those supports. 2780, 2776. You have resistance 2873, 2913. Hey Bobby. Hey DG Spider-Man. Yes, I brought gang warfare into this. That's how I roll. Y'all know I'm a Louisiana hood rat. Okay, Matic, let's look at Coinbase. Matic just looks unbelievable up here, but we are coming into resistance at 264, 282. Support 217 and 212. All right, so that's crypto. Now let's get into our setups. Man, this looks like a messy chart, but let's kind of zone out and get some zoom out, or zone out if you want to. If I'm boring, just zone out as well. But what was I drawing this on? Was I drawing this on the 2-hour? Man, it was legit earlier. I don't know what I've done to my chart. So anyway, we have a rising wedge on, let me get rid of it all. We have a rising wedge formation on Apple. We hit that resistance yesterday. It was just a beautiful thing. We talked about that pre-market after hours resistance of 128.24 and how it was legit because it happened on volume. We broke through it by 8 pennies and fell back. I hope some of you got that trade. That was just one of the better trade setups. And now I'm starting to get some pressure that I got to bring these clear setups every morning. Just kidding. I don't feel the pressure, but I definitely want to bring you high quality setups. So what I'm looking toward today is if Apple were to pop, I'm looking for another short because we have rising wedge type psychology here where, let me use the position one. It gets a little clearer. Path, that's it. So this is where we're getting higher highs with very little follow through. Hope you can see that. So we're getting higher highs with very little follow through. So if we were to get over 128.32, like up to 128.50 area, it may be another area to short because these bulls are just getting exhaustion up here at the tops. So Apple, I would look for a short near 128.32 again. If we don't get near that, then odds favor an inside bar, which would make sense if we were to go sideways today, people waiting for economic data, because we did have a large range for Apple yesterday. The average true range on Apple is pretty small typically. So that was a pretty large range. We may stay within it. Coin, that was the other nice setup from yesterday. We talked about our Whirlpool washing machine for inside bar, and that's what happened on Monday. Then yesterday we got that pullback. Not as I wanted it to go to 226. It went to 228, and then what an amazing move up. If you want the coin resistance and support, I'm going to stay here just for a sec in case you want to screenshot it. I plotted it before. I think coin got some initiation or something, and crypto initiation of coverage, and crypto had, I'm not sure of that. It had some type of news yesterday. If anybody knows the news, you can put it in chat. But also crypto was bullish overnight, so that could favor Coinbase to the bullish side. But I'm looking for a Coinbase short now. 252.17 would just be a nice clear area, and at this level, I would say 252.50 even. I would give it just a little bit of wiggle room because this is a newer IPO. The market makers haven't established enough order in the market, enough supply to go back and forth to keep things orderly. So we have slippage. So we'll pop up to 252.50 and come back. That doesn't mean we broke through the resistance zone. So just remember that I'm looking for a coin short. Here are your levels. You could go long at these supports or short at those resistances. All right. DKS. So DKS and Urban Outfitters, we have some retail names that had earnings this morning. So I would call this a double bottom. It broke by 15 cents. So with Dick's Sporting Good compared to Urban Outfitters, I like this one better because we're getting through resistance on the pre-market move. We're not coming in at a lower high where bears would just pile in at a clear level. So this one has a daily squeeze. So what is my formula to find these names every morning? I'm looking for news, catalyst, either to the upside or downside with a supporting technical setup. So this is a supporting technical setup. We have a daily EQ and we have bull news coming in the form of earnings. I wouldn't say it was priced to perfection. Had a nice move up. This was a swing report name back in here and it made a beautiful move up. So it has a nice technical setup, and I wouldn't say it's extended coming into this perceived good news. So I like Dick's Sporting Goods, but at this point we can't go long. We have to have a pull back. So this could be a potential bull flag on a higher time frame, 15-minute, 30-minute, hourly. So on a pullback, this could be an area to get long. We're really extended up here, so we need it to pull back to find rest at an EMA, give time for those EMAs to catch up. So I went over gold chart, Soham. Okay. Riot. This is a beautiful setup. So let me go out to the weekly. So Riot had an upgrade today. So when I'm looking at a name like this, and it can't even bounce over last week's high and get a good dead cat bounce going, this actually, in my eyes, makes it weaker. These inside bars, it can't even go up just a little bit for even a bear flag, if you will. So we have a weekly inside bar last week. This week we're opening within the range of the prior week. So Crypto was positive last night. Let me do check. Riot had positive news with an upgrade. Check. And then we have a tightening range. Technical setup. Check. You see that? And is heavily shorted as well. So that's another check. Any names that are heavily hated, that people don't like them, they can really go squeeze to the upside. So I marked these ranges earlier, these levels. You could take a screenshot if you would like. We're going through that level now. We're at 2685. We had this double top area at 2680. Your next resistance is up at 3080. So on a pullback, so we got really tight yesterday and then we popped up. So at TCG, we love tightening ranges. Come on, build that pressure. TTM squeeze, positive news, crypto up, short up, technical analysis, weekly and daily inside bars. I like this to the upside. So I'm not a break player. I don't like playing breaks. Doesn't mean it can't work. But 2610, 2616 could be that magic area to go long. And bears love to hate this name. So they could just pile in and short it down to a gap fill. So 2616 could be an entry area, 2620, and stop out at 2610. This is my name of the day as far as what I think is a solid technical setup. Now, as soon as the market opens, it gives us more data as to whether this is a crappy setup or a good setup or if things are working. But it's set up nicely. Tilray, we had a big move yesterday. So if you want these fib levels from yesterday's move, odds favor we would stay within this range. So you see how we're opening right at the 50% retrace of yesterday's range? Think about it. When we have this big move, I know you're thinking about it. We have this big move and we pull down within it, and now we're opening up. What do the odds favor? Stay within that range and Whirlpool washing machine them. So if they were going to Whirlpool washing machine us today, we can still trade it. Let's say it pops up into 1613. It has a little 2-minute trend change. Then we could short it. Comes down to 1560. 2-minute trend change back to the upside. You can go long. This is how you... Now, of course, if you don't like fibs, you don't know fibs, fib is a cheating lion, you hate it, then go through price action. You could short $16. Go long at 1534. So the odds favor a Tilray inside bar. The other way to trade this is if you are very familiar with options, you could sell a call credit spread above 1650 and sell a put credit spread below 1507. So you would sell the put credit spread of like 1514 and then sell a call credit spread. I don't know if it goes in 50 cents in increments. I believe it does. 1650, 1750. You'd have to keep it pretty even. If you're going dollar increments or 50% increments, keep it even. But that would be a perfect way to play this. So you're selling premium above and below to collect that premium crush on an expected inside day. This is where I will be focusing my efforts for the next quarter. I'm always trying to improve and recognizing inside bar potential setups and then making that the vacation trade where it's just a hands-off approach. I can focus on my TCG work and let this work for me. TSM. Okay, isn't that beautiful? So TSM on the weekly, semiconductors have been in favor. We have NVDA earnings, I believe, after hours today, so careful. But I don't trade trend lines every day. I like to make note of them, but I don't necessarily trade them. But a move over 115.38 would be a breakout over this weekly trend line and also get over the EMA. So I'm just using the trend lines to also eyeball what would be a move over the EMAs and key levels. So I'm using resistance of this candle here. I like TSM to the long side. It's a potential trade, but could be impacted by NVDA. I need to talk a little faster. Where did I pull the fib on Tilray, J-Man? Let me go back to it. So I used yesterday's range. So 1507 was the low and the high was 1646. 2-time stop on the Tilray spreads, Brett. For a stop, if we started moving above 1646, I would have to stop out of my call credit spread and then I would leave my put credit spread on. So it depends on where it would start getting gnarly. If it were start getting squirrely up here, then I'd have to stop out here. If it were start getting squirrely down here, I'd have to stop out of this one. So this is an iron condor where I'm selling a put credit spread and a call credit spread to take advantage of the premium collapse. ZS loves to squeeze the short. So 193.38, we're filling this gap up here. We have a gap right here. 199.50 is your key level. I like this name long up into 199.50. Then I would start looking to the short side if price started pausing. Obviously, they perceive these earnings to be wonderful. So you have support at 190.56. I would like to go long at 186.50 area. So I'd like for it to pull back a little bit, buy it, and then move on the way back up. Tesla with let's see if I move these lines. No, potential 2-hour rising wedge, and which confirms this look of this weekly bear flag that we have. 630 on the weekly is the 0.382 where the bear flag would still be in play if we were to come up into 630.60. So on Tesla, if we were to get another higher high, I would love to short 620.41. 620.41. This is my other primo setup, Riot and this setup, shorting 620.41. Now, of course, I need price action to confirm. I need to get my trigger to get my trade. I can't just go randomly short 620.41 if bull volume is through the roof. I need price to confirm. All right, and SPY, delete this. So let me kind of condense this. All right, y'all see when the coffee wears out when I get to this last chart. Okay, so here are your SPY levels. Now, same thing's kind of happening. Well, let me be consistent. Let me draw these fibs. On SPY, do you see how we're kind of opening up in the middle, maybe toward the upside, maybe a little bit more to the upside than Tilray? We make it an inside bar on SPY. Wouldn't that make sense coming into tomorrow with economic data? Kind of makes sense to me. So if you want those fibs, you can screenshot it, and it also has the support and resistances. Now let me go jump over chat. LTC for Chris. Dogecoin. Absolutely illegal wire transfer, aren't they? Crickets, you can. And if I can, with these high IV names, that's the other thing. Thanks for asking the question. Tilray has ridiculous high implied volatility. So as soon as price goes sideways for an hour, you're starting to get that crush. So I can do iron condors for this Friday on a daily inside bar on a high IV name. If it's not a high IV name, you can't do it. Okay, for those that have gotten the screenshot, I'm going to take this off now, and I'm going to go look at LTC for Chris. And then I'll wrap it up so we can go listen to Dan the Man. Potential 4-hour bull flag resistance at 219.79, 232.99. We got a 15-minute TTM. Well, now I have my fibs on. We have, take that off, delete. TTM squeeze on LTC. 15-minute, which means price is really storing energy. The Keltner channels are coming inside the Bollinger Bands. We have volume dropping off, which happens in lower volatility periods. Volume would give us a clue plus price that we're breaking out of this to the upside, or we can break squeezes to the downside. So I would watch volume for the clue. 40% off. Man, Jason is he's generous this morning. Okay, I'll do Dogecoin, and then I'm going to go. I got to go listen to Dan. Okay. Is this the highest volume one to look at? Yep, decent volume. All right, so let's look at it. So are these fibs value? Nope, that's from an old. Okay, so 0.382 resistance is 4092. So those are the fibs. Let me 15-minute downtrend on Doge. 3.6 and 3.67 are your resistances. Support 3.495, 3.498. Got a nice little double bottom there. That really has to hold. Then 0.3388. I would be really angry if this were my coin overnight, that the horse I chose to ride, not angry, I don't get angry over trading, but with names like Matic, Link, names that are just doing beautiful things, and Doge is up 3%. That it's up even less than Bitcoin. I'd be pretty upset. If you're holding for fundamental reasons, it's a different story. 4 hour is just finding major resistance at the 50 MA. And that's it for me. Thank y'all for joining me. I love you all, you stop losses. TCGers, I'll see you in the room.